Hey y'all, welcome back to Mood Gossip. We hope you're ready for some steaming hot tea because the ever-controversial Trisha Paytas has done what we knew they were capable of, but didn't expect they would actually go through with. Before we continue, Trisha Paytas identifies as non-binary and uses the pronouns they and them, so for the remainder of this video, we will respect that. Now, this carpet-crossing queen just featured on a podcast with none other than Keemstar himself, a man that they famously publicly tongue-lashed not too long ago. Trisha shamelessly requested to be on his podcast, and now they have gotten the kind of serious backlash that feels more than deserved. But before we dive into the drama for today, make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you can stay updated with all the latest gossip on the internet. If you know Trisha Paytas, then you know there is only one thing this 33-year-old YouTuber cares most about in this world, and that is attention. They have said it themselves more times than anyone can count and followed up their words with action. From starting fights with every and any famous YouTuber that mentions her name, to weird hypocritical rants on their YouTube channel, to beefing a creator one moment before begging them the next. Time and time again, Trisha has proven that they will do anything, and I mean absolutely anything, to ensure that the spotlight doesn't stray too far from them. The result of this is Trisha has been in one controversy after another. It almost seems like there is no month where we are given a breather from the sheer amount of headlines they generate. Some would argue it has paid off for them. Just take a look at them. Their YouTube page has over 5 million subscribers with almost 2 billion views. On TikTok, they are also wildly popular with more than 6 million followers, so it is safe to say that their lifestyle has paid off, at least for them. Well, to the viewers who follow them, those figures don't count because no matter how big or popular you are, there is a level of integrity, a level of consistency expected from you as an influencer, or else you will find yourself in the kind of situation that Trisha is in. To understand how Trisha went from being enemies with Keemstar to getting on his podcast and posing as a friend, we need to go back to the very beginning, a little before they started hanging out with Klein. This drama began in May 2019 when Klein decided to call out the photo editing epidemic that was all over YouTube and Instagram. Klein, co-creator of the popular YouTube podcast channel H3H3, posted a video called Instagram vs. Reality, where he spoke against the heavily edited photos on social media and used Trisha Paytas as an example of celebrities that use filters to change the way they appear online. Why are you even a model if you're going to modify your looks that much? He asked. It's like beauty queen to WWF wrestler in 2 seconds. You cannot Photoshop your heart and soul, remember that. He then went on to call a side-by-side photo of Paytas Coachella versus an open casket.
No! That cannot be the same person! Dude, Coachella versus open casket funeral.
Of course, Trisha hit back at him. They called Ethan a disgusting piece of shit. After insulting him, they went on to post a video called H3H3 is harming young girls, where they dramatically broke down in tears, accusing Ethan of pushing young girls to suicide with his comments. Sheesh. Anyway, Ethan did not apologize, and he doubled down by posting a heavily edited photo of himself mocking Trisha. 2 days after, and out of nowhere, Trisha Paytas tweeted asking Ethan if they could be on his YouTube podcast as a guest. Even though it was weird, and even though most of the fans were against it, Trisha got invited to the H3H3 podcast, and they seemed to have put their past behind them. That did not turn out to be their last rodeo, because they would create a separate segment called Frenemies that became wildly popular. It was during one of those many episodes that Trisha called out Keemstar for dating a lady that appeared to look years younger than him, claiming that he was grooming her. Keemstar is 39 and his girlfriend is 20. Trisha had good reasons for this though. They had dated older men when they were younger that messed up the way they viewed relationships. However, not long after that, Trisha requested to appear on his podcast in order to, in her words, iron out differences. What a joke! Of course, Trisha went on Twitter to defend their decision to appear on Keemstar's podcast, that they always trying to find peace with people they have beef with, and that the best place is on podcasts. Klein saw the picture of Trisha on the podcast and immediately responded with this tweet. I'm not even gonna front or try to be funny, this just really makes me sad. Everyone, including Klein's mother Donna and father Gary, called out Trisha Paytas for appearing on the podcast. Klein's father wrote that Paytas didn't have any self-respect left, while his mother called Paytas a weasel and appeared to suggest that she wouldn't attend their upcoming wedding with fiancé Moses Hakman, who is the brother of Klein's wife, Hyla. Trisha Paytas and Klein might have co-hosted the Frenemies podcast together before Paytas announced their departure from the project after they both argued over the ownership and finances of the podcast. However, things have only gotten worse. But when you are literally family with a person you are fighting with, there is a level of respect that you should at the very least give them. Everyone knows that Ethan Klein and Keemstar are not on the best of terms. Keemstar has repeatedly insulted his wife Hyla's appearance, so much so that Ethan Klein even had to block him on Twitter. Is that the sort of person you decide to get on a podcast with? Now, this is why Trisha Paytas is getting serious backlash from everyone. They decided to get on a podcast with a guy that they had already accused of grooming young girls and who had body shamed their own sister-in-law in the past. To make matters worse, Paytas went on TikTok and made 21 videos defending the decision, saying podcasts are meant to be discussions, going back and forth with someone you heavily disagree with.
When podcasts are meant to be discussions and going back and forth with someone that you heavily disagree with.
Well, what do you think? Is Trisha Paytas right for trying to get on a podcast with Keemstar, or are they just doing it for clout? Tell us in the comments below. Phew! And with that, we have come to the end of today's drama. We hope you had fun catching up with all the hottest tea on the internet with us. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you want to watch more like this one, and we'll see you next time with another piping hot tea sesh. Until then, bye!